Hi students, today we are going to learn how to create this outer space artwork. In this lesson, you are going to learn how to create moon textures on a piece of aluminium foil. You are also going to learn how to blend dark colors to light colors. I will teach you how in a bit, but first let's get your materials out. So go grab yourself a piece of aluminium foil. You want quite a big piece. And then you want a piece of art block paper, pencil, some markers or crayons, glue and scissors, some brushes, your paint palette, and also I want you to go find some coins that are of different sizes, big, medium, small. Okay. And then also I want you to get something that is round and circle in shape, maybe a plate, maybe a container cover. You want to make sure that it's big, and you also want to make sure that your piece of aluminium foil is big enough for this circle. So the first step, what we're going to do is we are going to trace this circle shape on the aluminium foil. So you can do this with a pencil or with a marker. I will use a marker because so that you can see where I trace easily. Just trace it out like that and then cut it out. Okay, with this extra piece of foil, you don't want to throw it yet because we might use it later on. So we have got our circle done. Now I want you to take out your coins. You want to have a few different sizes, okay? You want to have some big ones, some small ones, and some medium-sized ones. And then just put it on the table like that. Let's move all these things aside. Okay, with aluminium foil, it's quite easy to see the crease lines later on. So what I want you to do is just put your foil on top of the coins. Let's start from the top. And then with your finger, just go gently rub around the edge of the coins. You might want to find it a little bit. See, you see the texture that comes up after you rub it. Then you have some different sizes of circles. It's quite cool, isn't it? So go around a few times. You want to give it a good rub. And then also you can change up, move to another place. You can also overlap it like that. Let's do a few more. Okay, once you're done on one side, let's do the other side. It's the same thing, you just rub it. You can stop once you're satisfied with the moon texture that you have created. Now let's move all the coins away. And take out your cover again, just now that you used. Okay, now I need you to decide where you want to put your moon. You can place it right in the middle here, or you can place it slightly at an angle. So play around with where you want to put it. Maybe here, or here. Okay, I think I'll put mine here. So instead of using this to trace, I'm gonna put it away and use this to trace. This time I'm gonna use a pencil. I'm tracing this down right now so that later when I paint, I know where my moon is going to be. So I know for sure that my moon is going to be here, so later when I start painting, I don't need to focus on this part because it will be covered up by the aluminium foil. So the next step, we're going to start painting. We're going to learn how to blend dark to light colors for the galaxy. So go put newspaper on your table first before you start. Okay, the first step, I want you to choose your colors. Let's choose a black. Then the next color, maybe I'll choose blue. And maybe a light blue. Or if you want to mix purple, that's also okay. These are colors that blend well together. So if you want to use your own color, for example, black, dark blue, and green, that is also fine. So with the palette, I'm just going to prepare my paint first. On the screen, you will also see some of the colors that you can blend together. Now I have my paint ready. What I'm going to do next is I'm going to wet my whole piece of paper, especially the areas that are around the moon. Try to use a big brush for this step because you want to make sure that you work fast before your paper gets dry again. But you want to also be careful not to put too much to the point where your paper is flooding. Okay, once my whole paper is already wet with paint, I'm just going to take the colors and start dropping it in. We're going to put the dark colors far away from the moon, and then slowly as we get nearer to the moon, we'll go lighter and lighter to make it look like the moon is glowing brightly in the outer space. You see, because of the wet paper, the paint is actually spreading on its own. So you want to really work fast. So you see, when I'm painting, I'm kind of following the moon shape, the curved edges around the moon. Next, I'm going to go lighter. I can also put a bit inside the black. If your paper is dry, like over here, just add a bit more water. You can dip a bit of blue inside the black. Next, I'm going to go with the purple. It's okay if the colors go inside the moon because the aluminium foil is going to cover it anyway. So don't worry about the colors getting inside. We can also add some white around the moon just to make it look like it's glowing. Next, I'll also do some color splashing. I have my white loaded on my brush, then I'm just going to use my finger, or if you want to use another brush to tap, that's fine also. This one will create like the star effect. You can also use a pink or yellow or red color. Isn't it colorful? Okay, I'm going to use pink next. Okay, next just let this dry for a bit. You can use a hairdryer to dry it, it'll be faster. When it's dry, then we'll paste our moon on top, and also to create some tiny astronauts or spaceships or alien ships flying around in the outer space. Alright, so while waiting for our painting to dry, let's go ahead and grab another piece of white paper. It could be a normal A4 paper. We are going to create some astronauts or spaceships or some aliens or some UFO flying in the outer space. Up to you what you want to draw. Just show me your creativity, show me your idea, alright? You want to make sure also that you're drawing it big. Once you're done with your drawing, you can add some colors using crayons, color pencils, and then you cut it out and paste it on your background. When coloring, I want you to try to have some color blending in your artwork as well. Now remember the extra aluminium foil that we had just now? I am going to create some very shiny shoes for my astronaut. So all you need to do is just to, with a pencil, you want to go around the shoe to trace out the size of his shoe. Just go around carefully. And then we have another one. If you can't see where you're drawing, I suggest using a pen or a marker. And then just cut it out. The glue, just stick it on. And then you will have some very shiny astronaut shoes. Isn't it cool? You can also use these to create some shiny buttons on the spaceship or on the astronaut suit. You can also use this to create some stars that are sparkling in the outer space. I'm going to use this to create some tiny buttons. So I'm going to cut out a rectangle piece first. I'm going to put this rectangle on my spaceship. I'm going to put this on the ship. There, some shiny aluminum foil on my drawing. Okay, now let's assemble everything together. Take out your dried background. And let's stick the moon down. If you have a bit of moon popping out, it's okay. You can always cut it off or just fold it in like this. Once you're happy with all your positions, then you just use the glue and stick everything down. When you're applying the glue, you want to do it gently. So when you want to stick the aluminium foil down, push gently because you don't want to remove all the nice textures that you created for your moon. So just press down gently, not too hard. Just put an extra glue if there's any loose piece coming out. For this extra piece, I'm just going to tuck it in like this. Just like that. A bit more here. And I'm going to also stick down my spaceship and my astronaut. I'm going to take out my extra piece of aluminum foil and just cut out tiny rectangles. With the rectangles, I'm just going to cut like tiny pieces because I want to make like stars in the outer space. So with my tiny stars done, just gonna put a bit of glue and apply it on my background. It's a bit hard to pick up these small pieces, so what I like to do is I like to pick it up with my glue. And there you go, your outer space artwork is done. You learned how to blend dark colors to light colors just by wetting the paper. And you also learned how to create textures on the moon using different coin sizes. I hope you enjoyed this very cool lesson. So see you next week. Bye!